The difference between rich people and broke people is when broke people get busy, they think of all the things they need to do.
You really can solve a lot of male problems by getting in shape and making money. You still have problems, they're just smaller and you have more resources.
Most people think success comes from talent or money, but discipline is the key and is what eventually makes men win. If you're a man trying to build a better life and get smarter with money and want to be part of a growing community of ambitious men with videos like this every single week, then consider subscribing to the channel, my friend. And let's get straight into the video. The content in this video is for entertainment and educational purposes only. I'm not a financial investment advisor. Nothing here should be taken as financial advice or a recommendation to buy or sell anything. Always do your own research, and if needed, speak to a qualified professional before making any financial decisions. Some links in this video may be affiliate links, which means I may earn a small commission at no extra cost to you. All opinions are my own and based on publicly available information. Never rely solely on information from the internet when it comes to investing or money.
I lease a new car every 2 years, so I always have the latest model. I buy reliable used cars with cash, so I have zero payments and I pay zero interest on something that goes down in value. I grocery shop whenever I feel like it, and I just grab what looks good, honestly. I plan my meals for the week, which saves me time and money. As soon as I get paid, I cover my bills and then I go shopping to reward myself. I just save whatever's left over. I save and invest first, then live on whatever's left, and automating this part makes it really easy. I'll start investing when I make more money. I started investing so I can make more money. Even $25 a week grows really fast.
This is actually a really great comparison, and I basically agree with everything on the rich guy's side here, except maybe the food shopping, just because for me, I prioritize my protein. Because I go to the gym, I want to meet my specific protein intake, and I want to look as good as I possibly can. So food for me is almost like a non-negotiable. It doesn't mean I'm going to go crazy on it every single month, but it is a priority for me, and I need to spend that money on the protein. The real ones who are watching this video that actually go to the gym will understand. And if you are one of those, like this video so I know you're watching this. Let's see these comments now. Yeah, but those investments aren't liquid. It's not like you can use them for gas fees. No, but they grow in value over time. It's not fun in the meantime, but you're setting your family up for success for future generations, and you can enjoy your retirement sooner. Yes, that's true, especially in the UK here, if you're putting your money in a stocks and shares ISA. Of course, this is not financial advice, but it is the most tax efficient way, completely free from income, dividend, and capital gains tax. I really pray to the Lord that this never changes over the next few decades, and this is probably the only great thing about the UK, I would say, but it is a substantial powerhouse in my opinion, because you can accumulate your wealth very nicely if you understand how to use these tax advantage accounts, and not only with that, but with discipline to put money aside every single month, cost average into it, and allow the money to compound for you. And at least for me personally, I prefer using accumulation funds, just because then the dividends are automatically reinvested, buying more accumulation units of the current index fund that I have bought. You should have a mix of both. Cash cards are not always a smart idea. In what world are they not a smart idea? Please let me know in the comments below. I think maybe potentially I could be very biased, but to be fair, maybe other than the fact that if your car crashed, then you spend all that money, but then your car's crashed. But then equally, it's equally bad, I would say, in any situation, whether you financed a car or you've bought it outright, if you've crashed it, touch wood. But please let me know down in the comments, because I'm actually struggling to think. Yeah, investing gonna save you? Not really. It's not only long term, but Trump in presidency, the stock market is bound to crash. Not even a Roth IRA is gonna help, nor investing in the market. And Logan, I'm just going to give him a quick round of applause, because he absolutely destroyed Charles. With all respect to Charles, he said, good, then I'll buy more. And it's exactly, in my opinion, what I would be doing, because yes, the prices are in an absolute discount. People get so fearful of investing, like if the price crash is going to be like that for the rest of the time. If you look at the stock market, there are so many dips every single year. There are so many dips, there's so many recessions. Every single time there will be some. Even in the next few decades, there will be so many more recessions. Whenever there is though, the way I see it is that's at a discounted rate. The hardest thing emotionally is when you look at your account and you see that you're in a massive loss and everything's going tits up. That's when discipline comes in, and you just have to stick to buy more. And that confidence comes from research and also time in the market and just experience in investing, to be honest. But if you never start, you never get the experience. So you always feel fearful.
If you take away all my wealth, my Airbnb, my watches, my cars, my network, all my properties, if you tell me to start from scratch again, I can guarantee you that I'll become a multi-millionaire again in the next 3 to 5 years. Why is that? It's because of my mindset. So let me share with you 4 key mindset shifts that I had to make to go from broke dental school dropout student to becoming a multi-millionaire by age 30. Number 1, you gotta stop complaining. Complaining is the worst thing you can do for your health and for your wealth. I'm a big believer that what you focus on expands. So if you're complaining, that means you're focusing on problems, which means you're only gonna attract more problems in your life. Number 2, stop being comfortable. The biggest difference between the rich and the poor is that poor people are always seeking comfort, while the rich people are comfortable being uncomfortable. Number 3, you gotta shift your perspective. Rich people are always focusing on possibilities, which results in more opportunities. On the other hand, poor people are always focusing on problems, which results in more problems. Same business opportunity, rich people will see potential growth, while poor people see potential loss. Number 4, poor people are constantly living a fearful life, making choices based on their fear, constantly searching for problems. Their primary mindset is, what if it doesn't work? Middle class is slightly more helpful. Oh, I hope this works. Rich people are different. They take responsibility for their life and they say, I will make this work. I'm gonna find a way to make this work. We have what's called confidence in our ability to succeed. Unfortunately, poor people always expect to fail and lack confidence in themselves. Making money is a lot to do with momentum. Once you start to make a little bit of money, your life will get exponentially better because your confidence will also go up exponentially. So have more confidence in yourself.
I really like those lessons from this guy. Definitely some of the lessons that I've incorporated for myself to establish myself more and more, and I'll keep using these lessons to establish myself even further, because I do think these are some of the characteristics that every successful man must possess in order to succeed. And I would say the most important one in that one is confidence. But you guys have to remember, confidence is derived from experience. Therefore, you will suck, and that's okay. But you just need to keep going. You need to experience yourself. You need to be put into the deep end to be able to experience these things. And we're actually going to watch a clip in a sec about why experience is so important from someone that you may know called Alex Hormozi, who's one of my favorite mentors. I think he's an absolute genius, and mad respect if he's watching this video. Hey Alex, you're a huge inspiration to me. But let's see what some of these people think as well in regards to these. Guys, it's a numbers game. Mindset, network, opportunities, handwork, hard work, intention, precision, and smart moves equals success. There's 100 ways to climb the mountain. And yeah, for sure there is. For anyone that says to you, if you're going to go to someone that's made millions in real estate, they're going to tell you how they made millions in real estate. Obviously, if you go to someone that's got millions through dropshipping, they're going to tell you dropshipping is the best business. If you go to someone that's made millions from barbering or their laundry business, they're going to tell you that they've made millions in that and then that's the best business. But the thing is, my friends, is that's the best business for them. I'm really realizing that any single business can work. You just really need to stay in it long enough and dedicate yourself to think in decades rather than years, because I think anything succeeds as long as you stick with it hard enough. At least in my head, my trade-off is you stick to a job and maybe get a 6-figure salary after 10 years, or you dedicate yourself for 10 years in a business and maybe not get paid, let's say, for 4 or 5 years. But because you've built up this incredibly strong foundation, the 5 years following that will be exponentially higher than anything you could have ever dreamed of. And I'd much rather prefer making a bet on yourself. And for me, at least, I'd much rather prefer making a bet on myself rather than begging someone else to promote me and having my salary dictated by someone else. But this is just for me, at least. Always had this mindset, but the opportunities are not there. In my own opinion, as a man, you make your own opportunity. Okay, you pick something and you do it. Obviously, you need a bit of luck. But if you stick at it long enough, there will be an opportunity that opens up. As long as you still keep working hard and you know that what you're doing has leverage. For example, this is one of the reasons I love YouTube, because I know every single video I put out to you guys to watch, I know that this video will be around lifelong as long as YouTube doesn't shut down, touch wood. But all these videos are going to be evergreen. And that's one of the main things that I love about it. Whenever I have kids later on in life, they'll be able to see this. And the other generations will be able to see these videos. And that is leverage. But now get ready, because I want you to see what Alex Hormozi said in relation to what we just spoke about a tiny bit earlier.
You really can solve a lot of male problems by getting in shape and making money. You still have problems. They're just smaller and you have more resources to handle. The world is there for the taking for anyone who can learn from their mistakes, do what they say they were going to do, and stick with it, even if it's not sexy. What used to make a man acceptable now makes you extraordinary. The bar for winning has never been so low.
It has never been easier to start a business, to make money, to get in shape. It's just also never been easier to do nothing. And so in a world where it's never been easier to do nothing, doing something becomes extraordinary.
In a world full of distractions, discipline becomes a superpower, and that's why I think that discipline is the #1 thing that you must have and that any man can learn just by persevering and moving forwards towards their goal. Pick a goal and just keep on going, especially when it comes to finances. Sticking with it every single day, daily cost averaging, making sure you're putting money into investments, in my own opinion, of course, not financial advice, but just doing so is actually what makes you extraordinary and what makes you wealthy over a prolonged period of time. And in itself, when you look at it, it's not something hard to do, but the simplicity of it becomes complex because you have to do it for so long every single day or every month, depending on how you're cost averaging, for example. But regardless, you have to do it every single time over decades and decades, because the bar isn't actually high at all. It's coming and doing the work every day, in and out. Or like making time for weekly YouTube uploads multiple times a week when you have a full-time job, working crazy hours as well. Regardless of what it is, my friends, it's all a choice, and you just have to choose your type of hard, because any single life is hard. If you're going to go traveling and abroad and not choose to work, that's hard too, because eventually you're going to find out actually you don't have much money and you've actually not done anything. But equally, you have built substantial memories, something that only people could dream of viewing, right? But then on the other hand, those people that haven't traveled when they were younger, at their full youth, and they've been focusing on growing their business and wealth, they're probably going to be substantially richer. But their hard is that they haven't experienced those travelings and those memories in their youth. But equally, for me personally, it depends how you frame this thing right here, your mindset. For me personally, I found that I love building this YouTube channel and things online, and that's what I want to stick with. But for someone else, it will be something different. But as long as they enjoy doing it, it doesn't really matter. But you'll never know that you enjoy doing it, and you'll never be passionate about it until you start doing it and push through, get better at it, suck at it, and eventually get even better at it, where it's just second nature to you, and then you feel good about doing it. You don't have a problem in life until you have a health problem. Everything else, in my eyes, in a situation which we can change, being fit and healthy is so empowering. 100% true, because you can change being wealthy at any point in time. You can grow a business basically at most points in time. But if you do have a health problem, yes, that does suck, and it's going to hinder a lot of things. So health, in my opinion, is probably the #1 most important thing. That's why it's so important, especially if you're a man watching this, my friend, so important for you to go to the gym, stay healthy, lift weights, look good, because you'll feel attractive in yourself. It's not even for the women, it's just you'll feel attractive in yourself. You have more confidence, more, as they call it now, aura, which I just find cringe, but anyway is what it is. We live in 2026. But yeah, for me personally, building my body has absolutely changed my life, and I'm sure it'll be the same for you too. And if you have, and you've transformed your body, leave a like on this video and comment down below as well to say what your transformation was, because that would be cool to know.
The difference between rich people and broke people is when broke people get busy, they think of all the things they need to do. The emails, the scheduling, the admin work, the little tasks that eat up their time. Rich people get busy and they look for opportunities to free up their time so they can focus on making more money. It's just like if you're building a house. Broke people lay every little brick themselves, spend all their time, but never making real progress. Rich people hire skilled workers, allowing them to build faster with less stress. Broke people focus on tasks. Rich people invest in people, knowing that buying back their time is the smartest investment they can make.
It goes back, my friends, to what we've been talking about this whole video, that focused effort is the thing that actually builds wealth, not just being busy for the sake of being busy. Because the overall concept of discipline isn't that you're working hard. It's about working on the right things consistently. If this is your career in a job, focusing on getting the promotion and moving up as fast as possible. If this is your business, focusing on the one thing in the business that gives you the most leverage, therefore the same input for the most amount of output. And even if you put the same input in, you get more and more increased output over time. And by the way, this is the only reason, in my opinion, things like online businesses and just businesses in general is why they give you leverage compared to being an employee. Even though if you do something online, like let's say a YouTube channel, technically in my eyes, you are still an employee, but you definitely have more control over your time. And not only that, but you actually can gain substantial more output for putting the same amount of input if you stick with it long enough. So I do hope you guys are enjoying these videos, because I really put my all into them, and I hope that even if I've just helped one person learn one thing, I'll be more than happy, and that'll make my day. Although I'm more focused on building a community here on this channel, but if you do like these videos and you feel you can relate to these videos and you want to be be part of a group that is financially orientated and grow long term in the future, then do consider subscribing. And it's a long process, but it makes it more fun when you can hang around a group of men that are on similar financial journeys and can make friends along the way. And also, if that sounds cool to you, you can click the link in the bio below to see what I've made for you, my friend. I like the overall intent here, but it's overlooking the fact that rich people can already afford to hire someone to do things for them, while if poor people want something done, they have to do it themselves. Although that's true, I do think whenever you start something, you need to understand how to do it yourself. Because in order to tell someone else to do it for you, you need to know what you like doing yourself. That means you need to go through the dirt first so you understand how it works, and then you can actually just delegate to someone else to do it for you. Not just getting, I think it's completely wrong to buy and get someone straight away to do something for you, because you have no idea if it's good or not in the first place because you haven't done it yourself, so you haven't acquired that skill set. But hey, this is at least my own opinion. I just think you'll be substantially more efficient if you've actually done the trade yourself and you understand the skill set and you've done the skill set, you possess the skill set to then be able to delegate to someone because you literally speak in their language. So the productivity and effectiveness will be a lot easier because you know exactly what you want. You're just delegating it to another highly skilled worker to do it for you, because it's saving you time to focus on the thing that gets you the most leverage. This is a very key point. Listen to this, my friends. It's not about rich versus poor people. It's about rich versus poor mindset. Prioritizing the right tasks are key. Those tasks could be different for everyone, but still a path forward to the future. I 100% agree with this, my friends. And in my opinion, it's the same thing. If you think about it, especially with building wealth, it's the same thing. Those who don't invest won't build wealth, but those who do invest regularly will build wealth. Obviously, it depends what they invest in, of course, and it's based on speculation, but they have a higher chance of building wealth than those who don't. And the only difference is just the mindset and the behavior change that they've actually chosen to invest. And if people say, oh, I don't have enough money, sure, I understand that. But equally, again, you do not need a lot. You could simply invest £25 or £50 a month. And just doing that every single month is enough. That's petrol money. The biggest portfolios of wealth are built over a substantial period of time with small amounts invested. Wealth is rarely ever built just in like 1 year, unless you win a lottery or something like this. And if you look at this, my friends, from the world's best investor, this is the world's best that we've ever known, Warren Buffett, of course. 99% of Warren Buffett's wealth was accumulated after his 50th birthday. Bear in mind, he's invested before his 50th. He's invested for decades before his 50th, but he's accumulated 99% of his wealth after his 50th, because that's the compound effect. It starts off slow. If you don't know the graph of compound, it starts off slow like this, and then all of a sudden it just goes up extremely steep. But the difference is that he has taken action. And this is what I want you to do, my friends, is to take action, not just watch this video, although I'm sure it'll be helpful to you, of course, but you do need to take action if you haven't done so already. And even if you have taken action, it'll be great for you to be part of a group of men that do this too, because doing it alone can be very, very boring and lonely.
If you can't save money, your life gonna be hard. All right? If you can't save money, life gonna be hard. And it ain't even about the saving money part that's really gonna teach you. It's about the discipline to do it that's gonna help you finish other things in life.
This is probably the simplest lesson in the whole video, my friends, but it's the most important one because, again, discipline doesn't have to be a big action. It just has to be a action taken every day, and that gives you the power to change your life forever in whichever way you see fit. But from this perspective, financially, just doing one small thing like saving every single month, saving 100 or however much you can save every month, that gives you the discipline to actually show that you are saving. For me personally, at least, if you have built an emergency fund, which I would say is probably one of the first things that at least I would do and have done, build an emergency fund of 6 months of my essential fixed costs. After this, I would say instead of saving, it would be to invest a portion of money, even if it's 50 quid, every single month consistently. Though you can actually automate it. Depends what brokerage account you use or app that you use. I actually use a brokerage and also use Trading 212 as well, to be fair. Obviously I'm not recommended, I'm not affiliated. It just shows that you can control your impulses to not spend that 50 quid on going out, to not spend that 50 quid on going out with friends, but instead investing it for your future. And by the way, if you think 50 quid is not enough, Let me just show you the screenshot right now. The calculation's already done for you. So if you put £50 every single month at 10% nominal rate of return before adjusted for inflation, that is, but that'll be the actual cash value that you see on your screen. That's why I've done it as the nominal rate for 35 years. So even if you're 30 years old, 35 years is 65, that's still before the retirement age. And you put that £50 every single month in a normal index fund that generates that 10% nominal rate of return, you would approximately have, based on speculation, a future investment value of just under £200,000. And I'm sure that money on top of your retirement will be fantastic, and it will allow you to have a very nice retirement, depending on how you spend your money, of course. But remember, my friends, that is just £50. So if you think £50 cannot afford a lot or cannot buy you a lot, or you're thinking, well, what the hell, what's the point of this? Or next time you go out to dinner and you spend 50 quid on McDonald's or like a nice restaurant, even though it is nice to have that, of course, but next time you go out, just think of it, think of the fact that actually the payment of that meal or whatever isn't £50. That meal is potentially almost £200,000. And yes, maybe psychotic to think this way, don't get me wrong. Like I said, it's the action you take. Doesn't mean you can't go out. It just means you need to prioritize the action to take it. And then after that, you can go out. But making sure that you've actually put money into your future or into something else, saving, whatever your goal is, whether it's to build the emergency fund or to invest, depending on which stage you're at. But still, the whole point is daily action to change your life in a positive way. And Jamie's made a very good point here. As you can see, he says you can only save, he or she, you can only save money if you make enough to put money to the side without needing it. And then Coco Nicole very nicely said that means to sit down and invest in yourself, go back to school, get certifications, find a better job. I would even say side hustles are very popular nowadays. Something like YouTube is very popular nowadays. Learning the skill to run a YouTube channel, in my opinion, is a very potentially lucrative job as well. Although it does take loads of time, but I'm not gonna lie, I do love it because I get to help you guys out and make videos for you. And like I said, my friends, you are seeing this video for a reason. I hope you understand what that reason is now that you've made it here so far into this video. Make sure to leave this video a like. Comment down below what other videos you'd like to see similar to this. Make sure you subscribe if you are an ambitious man and you want to join a community like this channel. Click the link below in the description to see what I've made for you. If you feel like you'd like to join that, it'll be great to have you there as well. Other than that, my friends, YouTube recommends you watch one of these two videos over here. Click one and I'll see you over there, my friends.